If you are working every single day, earning a salary and paying your bills, and it just keeps on feeling like you can't get ahead, I know exactly how you feel. That was my life too. I wasn't looking to become some massive social media influencer. I wasn't looking for fame. I was looking for freedom. Freedom with time, freedom with finances, and freedom to spend more time with my husband. I wanted freedom to travel, freedom to go to the beach on a random Tuesday if I wanted to, and most importantly, I wanted to stop building someone else's dream while constantly putting my own life on hold. My online journey started on the 8th of August 2023, and I had absolutely no idea at the time how much that one decision was going to change my life forever. So if you have been wondering how ordinary people are building businesses online, how digital marketing works, or whether somebody like you can do this too, go and grab a coffee. Because I want to tell you what I have learned. I realized I did not want my life to look like this forever. There comes a point where you start asking yourself uncomfortable questions. Is this really it? Go to work, get paid, pay bills, use your salary to catch up on all the previous months. Maybe you start using credit when your salary does not stretch far enough. Then wait for payday and the whole cycle starts all over again. And somewhere between all of that, you are supposed to actually live. You are supposed to have time with your family. You are supposed to be able to travel. You are supposed to enjoy your marriage. You are supposed to have dreams. But when you are constantly trading your time for money, somebody else has control of a massive part of your life. Your working hours, your holidays, your income, and your time. And I realized I didn't want that anymore. I wanted to build something of my own, and that is when I started looking online. I knew people were making money online. I've seen it, but like so many other people, I did not understand how they were doing it. I thought to myself, do you need to know a lot of people? Do you need a lot of followers? Do you need to be an influencer? Do you need to build websites? Do you need to understand all this complicated technology? Because let me tell you, I certainly did not. What I actually discovered was digital marketing. And once I started understanding what digital marketing is, things started to make a lot more sense. Digital marketing is learning how to use the internet and social media to connect people with products, services, or solutions they already want and need. That is a skill, and skills can be learned. And that, my friend, changed everything for me, because that is when I realized I don't need to know everything before I start. I just needed to be willing to learn something new. The business needed to fit around my life. This was something that was incredibly important to me. I wasn't looking for another job. Why would I leave one situation that controlled my life to build another to do exactly the same? I wanted something that could eventually give me more freedom, not less. That's one of the things that attracted me to this business model. I could learn at my own pace, I could do this from my cell phone or my laptop, and I could work around my life instead of designing my entire life around my work. That was completely different. And then I learned about automations. That was probably one of my biggest light bulb moments, because initially you think, if I'm running an online business, surely I have to sit online all day to answer people. No, that is where automations come in. Someone can see one of my videos on social media while I'm spending time with my husband. They can go ahead and click on the link, they can request more information, and then the system can automatically send them what they need. I don't have to be physically sitting there every second of the day. And that is where you begin to understand why an online business can create a completely different relationship with time. So your system can continue working even when you are out living your life. Now that is powerful. I didn't have to become someone else. And another thing I had completely wrong about an online business was social media. I thought you had to dance in front of the camera, follow trends, go viral, have hundreds and thousands of followers, or somehow become an influencer. But you don't. You need to learn how to communicate with a person who already needs what you have. That's it. And for me, that person is often the woman sitting at home after an exhausting day, thinking to herself, there's got to be another way. Maybe you are earning a salary, but there's never enough left. Maybe you are using credit just to keep everything going. Maybe you are even missing time with your children, or barely seeing your partner because you are constantly working. Maybe you are doing everything you are supposed to do, but still don't feel free. I know that feeling. And that is why I talk about this. I started learning the skills behind building an online business, how digital marketing works, how to create content like this, how to use the right social media strategy, how automated systems work. I learned how sales funnels works. I learned how automated emails works. I learned how to market digital products that I did not even create. I learned how different online income streams work. And suddenly, this enormous, mysterious world of making money online didn't feel quite as mysterious anymore. There was a process, skills, a system that I could actually follow. I did not have to figure out everything from scratch. Now remember, you still need something to sell. And sometimes this is where people start complicating things. Every business out there makes money from something being sold. For example, a restaurant sells food, a salon sells services, a clothing store sells clothing, a coach sells expertise, and an online business like this is no different. You need a product or service that solves a problem or gives someone something they want. That's business. What interests me about digital products was the simplicity of the model. There's no warehouse, no boxes sitting in my garage, no packing orders, no physical products being shipped around the world. Everything happens in the digital space. And once I understood that, I could see why this industry had become so big. The real skill is learning how to solve problems. This is one of the most important things that I've learned. People don't pay you simply because you have a business. They pay you because you can help them. Maybe someone wants to lose weight. Maybe someone else wants to learn how to grow tomatoes. Or someone wants to start a business or learn photography. And somebody else desperately wants to learn how to create another source of income online. Now, every successful business out there solves a problem or fulfills a desire. So instead of asking, how can I make money? Start asking, how can I help? That completely changes the way you look at business. Now, this is what freedom means to me. Freedom doesn't mean I never work. I actually do enjoy working on my business. Freedom means choices, getting to decide what my day looks like. It's being able to spend time with my husband, traveling more. It's being near the beach or having slow mornings. It's opening the laptop because I choose to work on something that I'm building for myself. It's knowing that I'm building an asset that belongs to me. Because for years we've been taught, go to school, get a job, work hard, climb the ladder, wait for retirement. And maybe then you'll finally have enough time to enjoy life. But then I started asking myself a different question. Why should I wait that long? If you are sitting where I once sat, if you are working a full-time job, if you are financially stretched, if you desperately want another source of income, if you are wishing for more time with your children or maybe your partner, if you dream about working from home, or if you simply know that the life that you are currently living is not the life you want forever, I want you to understand something. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You don't need thousands of followers. You don't need to be a tech genius. You don't need years of experience, but you do need to be willing to learn. That is exactly where I got started. On the 8th of August 2023, I decided to start learning a completely different way of earning. And that decision opened my eyes to a world that I didn't even know existed. So if you are curious about exactly what it is I do, how the business model works, what digital marketing actually looks like behind the scenes, and how you can potentially start learning these skills, I have put the next step below in this video. Go and check it out, learn, ask questions, understand the model, and then decide whether it's something that fits the life that you want to create. Because sometimes changing your life doesn't mean having all the answers. Sometimes it begins with finally deciding that you want something different. If you enjoyed this content, like, follow, and share for more.